This is a tutorial for my arrangement of Still, Still, Still. There's a playthrough at the end, and if you'd like to order it, there's a link in the description. This is for the Fingerstyle player or the hybrid picker. If you're following the tab, make sure you also pay attention to the notation above the tab for chords and fingerings. This does go up the neck a bit. Don't let that scare you off. If you can play a 4-string F chord, you can play this arrangement. So here's a 4-string F chord. At the beginning and at letter B, we have a G chord, but it's marked in 3rd position, that Roman numeral 3. That means first finger needs to be at the 3rd fret. So the way we achieve that is we just take that shape from the F chord, move it to the 3rd fret. Now it's a G chord. At letter C and at letter E, we have a C chord marked at the 8th fret or 8th position. So we take that same shape, move it up to the 8th fret. You've got yourself a C chord. And then at letter F and at letter H, there's a D chord marked in 10th position. So again, same shape, move it there, and you have a D chord. There's one more chord that may be new to you. This is toward the end of a song. This is going to be a D chord, but it's not played like your traditional standard D chord. This will be fingered with finger 4, 3, 1, and 2. Finger 4 is at the 5th fret. Now luckily when we play this in the arrangement, you don't have to try to grab it all at once. You'll be able to build it one finger at a time. With that out of the way, let's look at the beginning of this arrangement. We start off with that G chord I showed you that's shaped like the F chord. We're at the 3rd fret. We're picking 1 or 2 strings of this at a time. We pick strings 2 and 4 at the same time, and then string 1, and then string 3, and then string 2. And we keep all of this ringing. Those little curvy lines that are in the standard notation and the tab are let ring or let vibrate markings. That means that any note that those are attached to should ring through the measure. So if it's a note that's an open string, try not to touch that string again. If it's a note with the finger held down, hold your finger down through the entire measure. So picking those strings and just keeping your fingers down the whole time on the frets. And then here we have 3 of the strings of an E minor chord. You can play this with any finger you like because you only need 1 finger down. It's an open low E, whatever finger you want to use for this E on the 4th string. I'm using my 1st finger, and an open G. Hold that for 3 beats. 1, 2, 3. On beat 4, you play the B, the open B. Next measure, form the full A minor chord. You start off by plucking 3 strings of an A minor chord. And on beat 2, you play that C. First finger should already be down. Then this can be a little tricky to grab here. You're going to need to play this D with your 4th finger on string 5, fret 5, and at the same time play your 3rd finger on the F sharp on the 4th fret of the 4th string. So you grab that, keep those 2 fingers down, and reach over and play that A with your 1st finger. So that measure right there, A minor. Grab the D and the F sharp and hold them down, and 1st finger here. And then this is just picking 1 string at a time of part of a G chord, starting from the open G. And I'm using fingers 1 and 2 here. You can use fingers 2 and 3. Let all these notes ring. Ding, 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 ding. And now we're pick up to letter A, which is mostly double stops. Pick up to letter A is this B note. And then fingers 1 and 3, we're on strings 3 and 4 with fingers 1 and 3. Finger 1 is at the 2nd fret, finger 3 at the 4th fret. And then 2 open strings, G and B, and fingers 1 and 2. Now jump back to fingers 1 and 3. So that may take a little practice getting to that smoothly. Next measure, G and B again. Then finger 1 and 2. Now just slide finger 1 and 2, 2 frets over, 2 frets higher. On the same strings, 1st finger is at the 3rd fret, and then open. Next 2 measures are the exact same as first 2 measures of letter A. And And that takes us to letter B, which is the exact same as the first 4 measures. Third position G chord, E minor, 2, 3, 4, A minor, grab this, G chord, ding, 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 letting all those notes ring. It's not marked to do this, but I like to put a little bit of a pause between verses. So we just finished verse 1, letter C is verse 2, and we're in a new key, we're in the key of C. So as I described toward the beginning of this tutorial, we're playing the C up at the 8th fret, again shaped like the F chord, and we pick the exact same strings you played at the beginning when you played the G chord. Letting all those notes ring. And then we have a low A, and on top of that we have fingers 1 and 2. So now we're back down at the 1st fret. Hold that for 3 beats, 1, 2, 3. On beat 4, you play this open E, and here form a D minor chord. We don't need the first finger right away, but we need it on beat 2. So you play three strings of a D minor chord, and then if your first finger's down from the D minor chord, you're all set for beat 2. And then here we have 3 strings of a G chord. It's just the low G, which I'm playing with my 3rd finger, and then 2 open strings, the G and B string. And then 4th finger on this D, keeping that low G ringing. And then this is just basically a C chord, so form your C chord right away, and we just play 1 string at a time. Bum, 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 on strings 2, 3, 4, 5. That takes us to pick up the letter D. Letter D is double stops again, this time on strings 2 and 3. Pickup note is this open E, and then we have finger 1 and 2 marked here, but what I'd like you to do is bar strings 2 and 3 with your first finger. It's going to make these double stops easier, as you'll see. So fingers 1 and 2, but finger 1 is barring a little bit. Play that again, and now we move to the 5th fret. This is all with finger 1. Now, if you're already barring, all you have to do is lift your 2nd finger and move it to the 5th fret. Now here, keep finger 1 down on those 2 strings. You're going to play this double stop with fingers 2 and 3. And again, keeping that bar down, move to 3rd fret again with 1 and 2. Next measure here is that little bar at the 5th fret. Keep your bar down, fingers 2 and 3 go down. Now everything moves 2 frets higher, and back to the bar at the 5th fret. Next 2 measures are the exact same. So you're just sliding finger 1 up and down, keeping that bar. Which takes us to letter E, which is the exact same as letter C. High C chord, finger 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, form your D minor, G chord, C chord, ding, 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 letting everything ring. That's the end of verse 2, so it's not a bad idea musically just to take a short pause there before you move to letter F, which is in a new key, the key of D major. So that movable chord now up at the 10th fret, picking all those same strings that you did at letter C and at the beginning. Now this can be a little tricky to grab right here, this B minor. I'm playing with finger 1, 3, and 2. So you might want to practice just moving from that D to that B minor. And if you really have trouble grabbing it, you could, and if you know the B minor bar chord, you could just form the bar chord instead and just pluck the strings you need and just play that way. Either way, as long as you get those notes. So I'm going to be doing it with individual fingers. Hold that for 3 beats. 1, 2, 3. On beat 4, we have this F sharp. I'm playing with my first finger. And next we have all of the open notes of a standard E minor chord. And then on beat 2, we have a G. I'm playing this with my 3rd finger. You could use other fingers if you like, but I'm using 3rd finger. then an A7, or 3 strings of an A7 chord. I'm playing this with my second finger. You could use another finger, but I'm using this with my second finger because, as you'll see, so I play this, open. If I'm playing this A7 with my second finger, now to get to this funky D chord that I showed you, I can just slide my second finger 1 fret higher. So here, and here's why we don't have to form that funky D chord all at once, because we're playing the notes one at a time. So you just put your fingers down one at a time. Pick up the letter G, more double stops. Play this F sharp, pick up with whatever finger you like, and then letter G, finger 2 and open, and then slide finger 2 1 fret higher, and put finger 1 down at the second fret. Now slide finger 1 1 fret higher, and now our double stop is fingers 1 and 3. Back to finger 2 and open. 1 and 2 again. Slide and play fingers 1 and 3. Now just slide fingers 1 and 3 both 2 frets higher. So first finger is now at the 5th fret, and then back to 1 and 2 at the 2nd fret. Next 2 measures are the exact same. And then we're at letter H, the last 4 measures, and these measures are the exact same as letter F. High D chord, grab the B minor however you can, 1, 2, 3, E minor, A7, and then build this chord one at a time.